Montreal Canadiens defenseman Joel Edmundson has caused a stir on the trade market, with the LA Kings recently showing interest and resuming trade negotiations with the Habs since last year. On a recent episode of Insider Trading, NHL insider Pierre LeBrun talked about the Kings checking Joel Edmundson's availability, not the first time the two have been linked in trade talks. Montreal and LA have been in trade talks since last year's NHL trade deadline, when the Canadiens scouting team spent many weeks watching the Kings' AHL affiliate, the Ontario Reign. They have been in contact since then this season, and if the price of Jacob Chychrun is too high, Joel Edmundson makes a lot of sense for several reasons. Edmundson's style of play fits perfectly with the Kings' physical, imposing style of field hockey, and his extra year could make him a more interesting acquisition than a simple rental. In addition, the man who signed Joel Edmundson to his 4-year contract, Mark Bergevin, is also a senior advisor to Kings general manager Rob Blake, an even more attractive connection between player and team. With the Kings having a large prospect pool and nearly all of their picks in the 2023 NHL draft, the Canadiens will have no shortage of targets in a potential deal. Montreal Canadiens goals. You can instantly forget about the inclusion of former top 10 picks like Quinton Byfield, Alex Turcotte, and Brandt Clarke. The LA Kings are not yet sacrificing their top talent. Instead, the Kings, now beginning to enter the window of competition, would tend to sacrifice power position picks or prospects to make moves that could help the club now and in the future. That shouldn't be a problem, because the Kings' excess picks and prospects are also exactly what the Canadiens are looking for. 2023 first-round pick. The immediate prize that comes to mind should be Kings' first-round pick in 2023, as it's no secret that general manager Kent Hughes is looking to add a third top 32 pick to his collection. The Kings are currently 11th in the NHL standings, which means that barring a good run and reaching the conference finals or the Stanley Cup, they will likely have just over 20. This would be the easiest asset for the Canadiens to acquire, but if the Kings are looking to keep a first-round pick in the event of a larger trade, there are more proven assets that could be notable for Montreal in Los Angeles' system. Jordan Spence. An NHL source close to the situation confirmed to Montreal Hockey now that the Kings are trying to balance their defense core, especially on the right side of defense. This hurt the Kings because they were forced to play good prospects in the AHL, despite the club's belief that they were ready for NHL duty. They have a top 4 NHL road prospect playing in the AHL, the source said of the situation in LA. They definitely have a surplus. The defenseman in question is none other than Jordan Spence, who has been stellar for the Ontario Reign this season, scoring 3 goals and 29 assists for 32 points in 38 games. With Sean Durzi making his name in the NHL and Brandt Clarke being tagged to the NHL full-time next season, Spence could be a stranger in LA and an ideal target for the Canadiens. Spence plays a fast game based on movement and puck transition. He is a winger who will turn 22 this month and could very well fit into the Canadiens' lineup immediately if a deal falls through. It's worth noting that the Canadiens are very familiar with Spence, having watched the Ontario government quite a bit last spring before trade talks broke down.